I don't think that most women are intentionally saying no to their health. I think what's actually happening is that they haven't stopped to look at what they're saying yes to instead. And so today, what I'm going to do is just talk with you a little bit about what it means when you say no to certain things and how it means that you're actually saying yes to some things you may not realize. Let's go. Welcome to If Mama Ain't Healthy, Ain't Nobody Healthy. I'm your host, Lori Morris, a Christian midwife, mama of three, and wellness coach who believes your body isn't broken, it's beautifully designed by God. Here we talk about how to restore your energy, balance your hormones, and find peace and true wellness in your body again, no matter what stage of motherhood you're in. Whether you're pregnant, postpartum, in the messy middle of mom life, or you're trying to conceive. And we do it all through biblical truth and practical, holistic living. Because you're not meant to just survive motherhood, you're meant to thrive in it. Let's dive in. So before I get started today, I want to make a little bit of a pre-apology for anybody who's watching on YouTube. Yes, I do post this on YouTube. Sometimes I live stream on YouTube. I'm not live streaming this week. This is just a recording. However, the air conditioner in my building is out in my office building. And so you're going to see my hair flying around when this fan that is saving my life right now hits me. And I look so sweaty and shiny. And so forgive me for that. There's just nothing I can do about it today. Second, it's review time. I have reviews to share with you today. It's been a while. Used to, you guys were leaving me reviews all the time. And I don't know if it's just that you guys think you've already left me a review, or maybe you don't realize how important it is. But reviews not only light me up, but they help me find other mamas and women just like you. So if you haven't already, go to Apple Podcasts, leave me a quick 5-star written review, and you may just hear your review read right here. And today I have a review from Sam. It says, "Confirmed all I believed. I have been telling people to question everything we think we know." Ain't that the truth? Sorry, that was my own little side note. I knew God was I knew that God was telling me there are more natural ways to do things. He created everything with a purpose. I'm starting the journey of preparing my body for pregnancy, and I came across Lori's podcast. Before, I would tell people what I believed, but Lori has the medical terminology to back up what I already believe. Whenever someone questions my knowledge, I send them this podcast. Thank you. To confirm what I already told them. I do not fear pregnancy. I have faith in Jesus Christ, and I feel empowered with the knowledge Lori has provided me with. When you pray, your prayers get answered, and God directed me to Lori to confirm all he was already telling me. What a true blessing to find this podcast. Thank you, Lori. And thank you, Sam, not only for leaving that review to encourage me, but also for sharing the podcast with your friends. And I hope that you have found my older content. The first 140 some odd episodes are all about pregnancy. So you need to make sure you go listen to those, because those are going to give you even more preparation for pregnancy. And also have an online childbirth education course that is available for pregnancy. And it's actually, I recommend you do it before you're pregnant or early in your pregnancy, because there's so many foundational things there that are going to improve the way your pregnancy goes when you get the information early. So go check that out. And then with that, we will get into today's episode. It has kind of bothered me, honestly, how many women that I see who are struggling with various health things, health issues, and they continue saying no to making those things better for whatever reason that might be. And I think a lot of times that it's not so much a conscious decision. I think sometimes it's just not realizing that when you say no, you are saying yes to something else. Every time you say no to one thing, you're automatically saying yes to something else, whether you realize it or not. So let's think through some examples of this. Think about if you skip a meal. You're saying no to that meal. And in doing so, you are saying yes to energy crashes later. Now, I'm not talking about when you're just genuinely not hungry. I'm talking about you're hungry and you're trying to, tough it out. And you say, no, I'm not eating lunch today, or I'm not eating breakfast today. And then you crash later. When you say yes, you say, you say no to going to bed on time. You're staying up too late. I got those words all mixed up. When you say no to going to bed at a decent hour, you're saying yes to exhaustion tomorrow. When you say no to hard conversations, when you avoid hard conversations, you say yes to that stress for whatever it is that needs to be talked about. Stress is now staying in your body and you're carrying it. When you don't ask for help, or when you say no when help is offered, you say yes to carrying everything alone. You're not actually avoiding a cost. You're just choosing which cost you're willing to live with. There are so many decisions that you have to make during pregnancy and birth that you shouldn't have to make, but you do. We live in a world that has medicalized a beautiful, natural process, and I know it can feel overwhelming to try to sort through it all, but you do not have to walk this road alone. I created my online Christian childbirth education course to give you all the information that you need to make solid decisions you can feel confident about while helping you to honor the process God created you to walk through without feeling like you're an accident waiting to happen. I leave no stone unturned in this 8-module course with about 20 hours of education. If you don't know me, I'm Lori Morris, and I'm a certified nurse midwife with over 20 years of experience as a nurse and midwife in both the medical and natural birth world. So in this course, you'll get my experience combined with a Christian perspective without an agenda other than to help you have a beautiful birth God's way, like you deserve. You simply can't find another course with this kind of balance out there. To learn more or to sign up, go to go.yourbirthgodsway.com and click on the online Christian Childbirth Education course button. There is no other course out there like this. There are relaxation tracks in it to use before and during labor. There's tons of information about how to stay low risk while navigating the onslaught of standard medical interventions that are going to be offered to you during your pregnancy. There's affirmation cards to help you stay focused both during pregnancy and during birth. There's postpartum information. There's information about how to establish breastfeeding and so much more. You will be prepared for pregnancy, birth, and beyond when you take this course. So come join me. Go to go.yourbirthgodsway.com right now. See, there are several patterns that I see that come up in my coaching and when I'm just talking to people, talking to women. And one of the biggest ones is I'll deal with this later. Or maybe this season is just busy. I just don't have time right now. I'll do it next season. I'll do it in the fall. I'll do it after Christmas. I'll do it this summer. You name it. I don't have the time right now. That's very common. We're all busy and nobody thinks that they have the time to do what needs to be done. But this leads to survival mode decision making. Basically, you are just making decisions in the moment all the time and never taking the time to do the work that needs to be done. You might get some short-term relief, but then you're also going to get the long-term consequences. These habit loops just keep popping up to where it's just kind of this vicious cycle of something comes up, I kick the can. I come back to that thing again, I kick it a little further. I come back to that thing again, I kick it a little further. And I keep saying no to dealing with the issue. And in doing so, I'm saying yes to that issue growing and becoming a bigger issue. Most women are making decisions based on what feels easiest in the moment, not what actually serves them in the long term. So let's look at some scenarios. Let's think through some things, and I would venture to say you're going to see yourself in one or more than one of these. Let's look at the exhausted mom scenario. The exhausted mom wakes up probably already tired. She skips breakfast because she's got to run out the door to do whatever her day holds. She grabs coffee, drinks it on an empty stomach, and then crashes mid-morning. As she's bottomed out from no energy in that caffeine crash, She starts snapping at her kids when her kids are just being themselves. They're just being kids. Maybe they're asking questions. Maybe they're not being perfect princes and princesses, but they're certainly not doing anything wrong. See, that snapping, that break, that inability to deal with the kids with grace, it wasn't random. That was a series of small no's that turned into a predictable outcome. It happens all the time. Scenario 2, that woman who doesn't have time. I mean, really, scenario 1 had that in it as well. But this woman puts herself last all day. She's tending to everybody else's needs, everybody else's wants, whatever else needs to be done. And then at the end of the day, she finally sits down and she scrolls on her phone and she snacks and she stays up for that me time where she can try to decompress. That me time is real, but it's costing you tomorrow's energy to where that cycle again will repeat itself because you stay up too late looking at your phone. You never fully nourish your body, and then you don't get enough sleep, setting yourself up for the same cycle tomorrow. Scenario 3, the woman who's trying to lose weight. She undereats all day. She thinks that that's the way to lose weight. Then she overeats at night, which, if you're going to overeat, the worst time to do it is at night. And she feels like she has no control. She says no to the solutions that she finds that will help fix the underlying problem, that will help her learn her body and how to nourish it properly. And in doing so, she says yes to this feeling like it's all her fault, this won't work. That's not a lack of discipline. That's a trade-off that you're forcing your body to pay. All of those no's are leading to or are the same as a yes. When you say no to the solution that works, you say yes to continuing in the same old patterns that have gotten you where you are. The hard truth is that at some point, you have to decide which discomfort you're willing to live with. Okay. And whether you realize it or not, you're kind of doing that all along. But sometimes you're not consciously choosing, you're not conscious of what you're choosing, I should say. So rather than the discomfort of getting unstuck and getting healthy, you choose the discomfort of staying stuck. So you've got a discomfort that comes from working to change your habits, and you've got the discomfort that comes from staying stuck. Which one of those are you willing to live with? Because right now you are already choosing. You're just not choosing intentionally and on purpose. Women who constantly put themselves last, they constantly say no to what they need. I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm not talking about that kind of a mentality. I'm talking about taking care of the needs that you have. And you constantly put yourself last because you're afraid of being seen as selfish. You're afraid of what people are going to think if they know you're choosing you. You're saying yes to yourself. So many of these women are losing themselves in motherhood, putting their children first in everything, which I'm not saying that's wrong, of course. I'm talking about at the cost of your health. If your identity has become everyone else comes first, almost kind of like a martyr attitude, then your choices are always going to reflect that when it comes, and even when it's costing you. So your choices that you're unconsciously making or not on purpose making, they're costing you in ways that you don't maybe want to acknowledge. Now, this isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's just about becoming aware of what your current choices are creating. Ask yourself this: what am I saying yes to right now? Am I okay with that outcome? What am I saying no to? And in saying no to that, am I actually saying yes to something else I actually really don't want? If you're realizing that the choices that you've been making are not giving you the life or the health that you want, that realization is exactly where change starts. So if you are ready to stop guessing and to actually have a clear plan for your body, for your metabolism, and for your hormones, that's what I do in my coaching. And I would love to talk with you on a foundation call. So I hope that you'll go sign up for one of those at www.morriswellnessservices.com/application. I'll be heading into starting a coaching mentorship in the next few weeks. And I'd love to talk with you about how that might be the vehicle that will get you to the life and the health that you've been saying no to, but now you're ready to say yes to. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to email me at lori@morriswellnessservices.com. Otherwise, I hope that you will go ahead and fill out that application and let's hop on a call and have a chat. And I will see you back here next week. If you were blessed in any way by today's episode, please take a minute to share it with a friend you know needs this info, or just post a screenshot on your Instagram stories and tag me so that I'll know you love this episode. Then come join us in Verity Village, my exclusive community built just for Christian women like you who want to learn to be well and live in alignment with God's design for their bodies. I'm in there every day chatting with the members and sharing information about a broad spectrum of topics like natural health, vaccines, nutrition, and the Bible. So you'll have a trustworthy, faith-based source away from noise and distraction for growing in your health and faith this year, along with a community of like-minded women. Also, I'd love it if you would head over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. You can find links for all these things in the show notes. I'm so very thankful for you, and I look forward to hanging out again with you right here next week.